Long before her name echoed in the royal courts, Adeze was just a little girl in a quiet village called Umuigwe-Ukwu, far from the grand palace. Her father, Okafor, was a respected farmer. Her mother, Nkem, sold vegetables in the markets. They were not rich, but their home was filled with laughter. Every evening, her father would sit under the udala tree and tell her stories. One day, he would say, "Your kindness will open doors that strength cannot." Adeze never forgot those words. But happiness does not always last. One season, a strange illness swept through the village. Her father fell sick. Days turned into nights and nights into silence. Then one morning, the drums beat, not for celebration, but for mourning. Adeze lost her father. They fell into hardship. After his death, everything changed. The farm failed. Food became scarce. Death surrounded them. Her mother struggled, but it was not enough. One evening, with tears in her eyes, her mother said, "Adeze, you must go to the palace." Adeze's heart broke. "I don't want to leave you," she cried. But her mother held her tightly. "This is how you will survive." Arrival at the palace. The palace of Umuigwe was like another world. Tall gates guarded by warriors. Walls decorated with ancient carvings. Courtyards filled with royal life. But to Adeze, it was overwhelming. She was taken to the servants' quarters, where dozens of maidens lived. The head maid, Mama Ugu, looked at her coldly. "Another village girl," she said. "You will learn quickly, or suffer." From that moment, Adeze's new life began. A life of servitude. Her days were harsh and endless. Before the cock crowed, she was awake. She swept large courtyards until her hands blistered. Fetched water from a distant stream. Cooked, cleaned, washed and served. The other maidens were not kind. Especially one named Lolo. Lolo was proud, beautiful, and cruel. "You don't belong here," she would whisper. "You smell like the village." Sometimes they hid Adeze's food. Sometimes they gave her the hardest tasks. But Adeze endured. She remembered her father's words. The garden encounter. One evening, exhausted, Adeze carried a large clear pot of water. Her legs trembled. Suddenly, she slipped. The pot crashed to the ground, shattering loudly. She froze. Fear filled her chest. Before punishment could find her, a voice spoke. "Are you hurt?" She turned. A young man stood there, simple clothes, calm eyes. I'm sorry," she stammered. Instead of anger, he knelt and helped her. "It's just a pot," he said gently. No one had ever spoken to her like that. A secret friendship. The young man returned again and again. He never gave his name. But he brought her small gifts. A mango, roasted corn, cool water. They talked in the quiet corners of the palace. For the first time since leaving home, Adeze laughed. "You should not smile so little," he once told her. "It hides your light." She began to feel something she had forgotten. Happiness. The hidden truth. One day, the palace exploded with celebration. Drums roared. Dancers filled the air. Chiefs gathered in their finest attire. Adeze stood among the servants, watching. Then the royal announcer's voice thundered. "Behold, Crown Prince Obinna, heir to the throne." The crowd cheered. Adeze looked up, and her world stopped. It was him, the same young man, her friend. Her heart sank. Fear and distance. From that day, Adeze avoided him. She refused to go near the garden. She kept her head down at all times. But the prince noticed. He searched for her. Finally, he found her. "Why are you running from me?" he asked. She fell to her knees immediately. "My prince, forgive me." Tears filled her eyes. "I did not know. I have no right to speak to you." Love beyond status. Prince Obinna lifted her. Gently. "You speak as if you are less than human," he said. "You are the only person in this palace who treated me like a normal man." He looked deeply into her eyes. "I value you, not your position." Adeze's heart trembled, but fear still lived inside her. The palace uproar. When the prince declared his love, the palace shook. The queen was furious. "A servant girl," she shouted. "This is disgraceful." The chiefs protested. "The kingdom will reject this." Lolo and the other maidens mocked Adeze even more. "She wants to be queen." Dream on. Adeze felt broken. She even tried to leave the palace. The trials of worthiness. The elders gave her impossible tasks. Care for the sick during a deadly illness. resolve disputes in the market, provide food for a struggling village. She worked tirelessly. She did not seek to impress. She simply helped people, and slowly, the people began to love her. The queen's illness. Then came the turning point. The queen fell gravely ill. No one could comfort her. But Adeze stepped forward. Day and night, she stayed, cleaning her, feeding her, singing softly. She expected nothing in return. A mother's heart awakens. One night the queen opened her eyes and saw Adeze beside her. Weakly, she asked, "Why are you doing this after how I treated you?" Adeze bowed her head. "Because it is right." Tears filled the queen's eyes. In that moment, everything changed. Acceptance. When the queen recovered, she called the courts. "I was wrong," she said. "This girl has the heart of a true queen." Silence filled the palace. Then slowly, acceptance followed. The royal wedding. The wedding was unforgettable. Drums thundered across the land. Villagers danced in celebration. The sky seemed alive with joy. Adeze walked beside Prince Obina, no longer a servant, but a queen unlike any other. Queen Adeze ruled with compassion. She protected the poor, respected servants, brought peace to the kingdom. She never forgot her past, and that made her different. Legacy. Years later, elders would tell her story to children. A girl from nothing became everything. Not through beauty, not through power, but through kindness. Final words. And so, in the land of Umuigwe, one truth remained. Greatness is not where you begin. It is what you become.